Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, it is I am the one and only, Maxi here once again, and I'm back for the likes of the Maxi Toys videos. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for some more of Let's Play of Winnie the Pooh's Rumbly Tumbly Adventure for the Nintendo GameCube / PlayStation 2. So, last time, we've essentially managed able to completely done everything for the sake of Eeyore's birthday stage, and like I said before, it's about the fact that as soon as we get to the later birthday levels, is that it'll get longer and lengthy at the same time. So because of that though, and also we did somehow manage able to obtain every single honey parts, and especially noticeable with those musical notes as well. So today, for this video, is that we're going to be hit on to the final birthday stage, and as a result, we're now going to be going into Pooh's birthday. So because of that, he does have the most honey parts, so we can pretty much expect to say that not only we can able to actually collect, as usual, some more honey parts, but it also is about the fact that we can able to take on most of those Heffalumps and Wurzels for, presumably, for the final time throughout the majority of the main game. So because of that, let's get the stage started.
And so, to forget about being hungry, Pooh remembered his own birthday.
Today is my birthday, and I think I should like to go on a treasure hunt. But you see, I'm not certain how to begin. Perhaps Owl would know. Oh, but I shall need to find the key to his gate. I wonder if it is near Kanga's house.
Okay, so it looks like we're going on a treasure hunt, I say. So, a little bit different than the forms of how it does it from the likes of the previous stages or something like that. So, yeah, you probably get the idea of how the actual structure of the final stage is going to bring out to be. So, anywho though, so a few things I want to explain for this point today is that, well, today's date, of course, is the 30th of December today. In some cases, it's in 2023 today. Only 2 more days to go until we move on to 2024. So as a result, I think I should probably explain more details about that. Not just by the forms event today, but also for tomorrow as well, for potentially speaking the final video for the sake of the forms of this game in particular. Although aside from the fact that we're still going to be able to experience, you know what I'm saying, the final birthday stage in the entire game. Before we get on to that though, is that I will also want to classify for saying that yes, I will be showing off some extra content here and there as well, to see how this game actually has to offer, likely also for the sake of the forms of the multiplayer mini-games, as well as the forms of the junior mode, which as a result is basically it's like a baby mode basically. So because of that though, again, I'll explain more details about that once we get to tomorrow. So because of this though, yeah, I just can't believe we're actually getting very, very, very close towards the end of 2023. So as a result, I'm very excited for 2024 at this point, because not only for certain movies to be released on that particular time, but also certain gaming releases as well, which I'll explain on that in a moment. So beneath that note, and I believe for Pooh's birthday stage, I believe we're going to go into every single environment, so...
Hello, Pooh Bear. Today seems like a good day to collect wood. If you like that sort of thing, which I do.
Okay, so we do need to bring some wood for Eeyore, or something like that. So, yeah, as I said before, is that I believe we're about to be exploring through every single part of the 100-acre wood this time around, because as a result, it's going to get a lot more expansive than the forms of how it does it on the previous stages. So, although naturally speaking though, you're still going to be able to explore the entire 100-acre wood environment, as opposed to the forms of some unique themes for the sake of the forms of Piglet's big game, but honestly, I just don't seem able to actually be bothered about it. So, but even then, yeah, as a result for that particular matter though, is that, as I said before, not only this is going to be the final time we're going to be able to encounter not only several of Heffalumps and Wurzels, but it's also this will be the final time we're going to be able to be collecting some bunch of honey parts. So, even though there are some situations for the sake of the forms of certain parts where basically though certain pathways have been blocked. So yeah, this means there's going to be a lot of backtracking. So, but thankfully we can able to run fast, as you probably already expect at this point. And also, something's worth noting for every time when those honey parts do manage to able to pop out, for the sake of the forms of certain objects, is that they just like able to bounce all over the place, and it makes things a little bit tricky to catch, just like the forms of how it does on the forms of Tigger's Dream in Cookies, for the sake of the forms of Piglet's big game. So, but I'm sure we're able to actually guarantee we're able to still guarantee to able to obtain every single honey pot, so hopefully that'll make it a little bit more matters. So, anywho though, so yeah, in terms of what I was going to be exciting for the sake of the forms of 2024, is that when it comes to films, obviously there is Kung Fu Panda 4, and in addition to that, there's also Sonic the Hedgehog 3, and on top of that, there's going to be Inside Out 2, which I'm hoping that particular sequel does not get screwed up or anything else like that. But then again, though, we'll have to wait and find out until specifically after Elo film is about to be releasing first. So, and in addition to that, there's also Mission Impossible Dead Retconning Part 2, and also same applies with any other films I could possibly describe, but I suppose we're probably gonna have to save that particular topic once we get to the very first Let's Play in 2024. But then again, we're probably not gonna mention about it too much though, just because I don't want to able to spoil things too much. So as a result, you probably get the idea of how the entire thing itself is gonna play out to be. So, and in terms of the forms of the gaming releases as far as next year is concerned, well, the obvious biggest highlight for 2024, for those of you who still managed to got yourself the PlayStation 5, is that basically Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is going to be the biggest highlight for the sake of the forms of next year's gaming. And in addition to that, I'm also very excited about the forms of, as to be expected, not only Mario vs. Donkey Kong Remake, and all the other bunch of stuff.
Tigger, how did you get all the way over there? By bouncing, of course. Say, why don't you join me, Pooh? I'll go find a way to make a bridge for you.
Ah, yes, it looks like we're about to be playing as Tigger again, so yeah, I get the feeling that we're most able to play multiple playable characters once again during the course of this one particular stage ever since in Eeyore's birthday. So, but technically speaking though, is that there's also technically the 5th playable character in this as well, but it's only exclusive onto a multiplayer minigames mode, which, again, I'll mention more about it until tomorrow's case. So, in some cases though, oh boy, we just got caught. So, but at least on the upside is though, is that maybe, oh wait a minute, I think this is where the game starts to get a little bit tricky, likely also for the sake of the forms of, well, as soon as this loading screen is about to be finished and done, it looks like we're about to be going back into square one for its progression. So because of that, we have to make our way very carefully without even getting caught by the forms of those woozles here, likely also 2 variants of woozles there. So hopefully we should be able to actually just try to able to tread carefully to get that particular thing.
Oh. Oh.
And it seems that we can now able to take control of Pooh again, so I would say that segment is actually a lot shorter than I thought it was. I was expecting a little bit more lengthy, but I guess it was actually pretty short, so.
There you go, Pooh Bear. The bridge is all ready for crossing. Thank you, Tigger. Don't mention it. Now it's time for me to bounce on out of here.
Anyway, back into what I was saying about the forms of certain games I was really looking forward to for next year in 2024. I've already mentioned about one of those games in particular, which is Mario vs. Donkey Kong for the Nintendo Switch, and that was also applies for, you know, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, if you do manage to able to still have the PlayStation 5. And there's also Princess Peach Showtime, so as a result, I was really looking forward to able to playing the second Princess Peach game, after the events of Super Princess Peach for the Nintendo DS after all. So because of that, and yeah, I was really looking forward to able to actually playing that game, even though despite the actual, the game is going to be most likely focuses on Princess Peach, but I don't care, because obviously Princess Peach, she was actually a cool character after all for the Mario franchise, so, and exponentially, it will be pretty interesting to able to face off against with a different villain, which appears to be none other than Grape, so, kind of an interesting villain, I might add. Well, unlike in Super Princess Peach, obviously the main antagonist of that game is obviously Bowser, of course. So, that's all I can really think about that. So, and there's also going to be Luigi's Mansion 2 HD for the Nintendo Switch, because after the events that we've already done our Let's Play of Luigi's Mansion, so as a result, that'll be the perfect opportunity to we can able to actually deal with the entire trilogy of the Luigi's Mansion games, so that'll be exciting for the most part, especially that, again, we'll try to save up for that particular Let's Play of Luigi's Mansion 2 until next Halloween, for the sake of October, so... Anyway, now we got ourselves a magnet, which is a very similar item as the forms of how it does it on Piglet's Big Game. So, except the fact that I think we're able to use that for a different situation. So, anyways though, and of course, most notably is of course Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door for the Switch. And some people keep on saying it's a remake, which I honestly think that's true, especially because of its different art style. And in addition to that, maybe they'll try to add in some brand new content that was not found in the original version of the game, likely also for its side quests, or a brand new side adventure, just like the forms of how it does it on most of those Mario and Luigi games be released on the 3DS, likely also, for example, with Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga, plus Bowser's Minions, and say applies with Bowser's Inside Story, plus Bowser Jr.'s Journey. So yeah, I was expecting that maybe they'll add that new side story content, but then again, though, we'll have to wait and find out until maybe for the upcoming Nintendo Directs during the forms of in 2024 and beyond. So maybe we're able to actually get a benefit for the doubt when it comes to able to actually notice something like the announcements or something like that. So, anyways, though, so let's just go ahead and pop the balloon once again. Now, this is where things gets a little bit more difficult when it comes to getting chased by the forms of not only certain Heffalumps, but also with certain Wurzels as well, because I said this before, there aren't any checkpoints this time around, so yeah, this could be an ultimate challenge, especially because if you mess up so many times, you essentially gonna get pushed back by quite a huge margin. So because of this though, yeah, I can see why that this is going to be the most trickiest part about the game every now and then. So, but still pretty easy though, especially concerning for the fact that, well, obviously you don't get too many game overs, and on top of all that stuff though, that the only thing it gets a little bit tricky when it comes to getting chased by the forms of not only for certain Heffalumps, but also for certain Wurzels, is that, potentially speaking though, is that you're about to get stuck on certain corners or certain edges throughout the majority of the environment, so that could be the only tricky part about the forms of the hardest aspects in Journey forms of this stage. So, anyways though, yeah, that's what I can really say about that. So, I'm not exactly sure what other games they're about to be expected to be releasing though.
Oh, bother. Those birds have taken my key. Perhaps Eeyore could help me get it back.
Oh, drat, we've lost the key thanks to that godforsaken bird. I suppose we'll need to able to figure something out in order to able to get that key back, but hopefully we'll try to able to investigate quite a lot of places around here for certain locales or certain locations as far as I meant to say. So, relatively speaking though, it's just about the fact that it's been about quite a few hours since I actually have last played this for sure, but exponentially speaking though is about the fact that we've almost done with this game basically. So again, it's really short, so I suppose that it might actually feel like the same way as the Game Boy Advance version if I've decided able to tackle for that until next year or something like that. So, because honestly it's just about the fact that I'm just getting very glad to know about the fact that, I think I will admit though right away, I feel like that 2023, it feels kind of a mixed bag year, but as a result, it's definitely a little bit more up there compared to the forms of how it does it on not only in 2022, but also with 2021, and also most notably 2020, of course. So, but then again, I'll save that the majority of the, for that particular discussion until tomorrow for my final thoughts of 2023. But I will say is that the game selection is probably the strongest point of the year, which as a result, because then again though, we actually got other games during the forms of in 2023 that managed able to came out, like for instance, you know, Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe, as well as Metroid Prime Remastered, and The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, as well as Pikmin 4, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, and Super Mario RPG Remake, and on top of that, WarioWare Move It, and there's a lot of good games that are able to actually came out during the forms of in 2023 so far, which, as a result, I'm pretty sure we're basically done with those gaming releases for 2023, and for that particular selection they've got, is really, really dang good. Certainly a lot more stronger than the forms of how it does it from, let's just say I feel like that 2022 game selections is alright for the most part, aside from the fact that there are some disappointing ones for sure, like Mario Strikers Battle League Football, as well as the forms of other games like, actually, I can't remember, because I know for a fact that it's been a very long time since I actually have looked back on 2022, but anyway.
Eeyore, do you suppose you could help me catch those birds? You see, they have taken a key, which I am in need of.
Sure, Pooh. Better take the butterfly net, though. Probably come in handy.
Although, speaking of the forms of those playable characters departments, I'm pretty sure it's not the final time we're going to be able to be playing as multitude of playable characters, because, as I said before, is that this game also features a junior mode, which is basically like a baby mode of this entire game, where you can able to interact with multiple stuff here and there. So, either way, it looks like we're about to be catching those birds, and once you've done so, I'm pretty sure we can able to claim this glorious key in order to able to progress throughout the majority of this particular stage. So, this one's actually kind of tricky to get, because sometimes those birds move ridiculously fast as long as you corner them.
You're a very good friend, Eeyore. With this key, I can now go visit Owl.
Glad to help, Pooh.
Now, conveniently enough, when it comes to the forms of the length of certain stages, is that unlike in Piglet's big game, that sometimes though is about the fact that in one of those stages in particular, which is either Rabbit's Dream or Tuku's Dream to be more specific, that sometimes I have to split them into two parts. But in here though, it seems that we actually go for the entire stage within one part in particular, which I found was actually quite pleasing to me, especially concerning for the fact that, like I said before, certain stages are pretty short for the most part, even though some of them can be pretty lengthy at times. So, yeah, you probably get the idea of what this is expecting. So, but even then, so let's go ahead and pop this another balloon before we continue our progression. So, even then, that takes care of them. So now we can open up this little gate. And now we can able to go into Owl's house. So I think that's what the direction is going to tell me where to go. So, yeah, not much else to talk about. So, but even then, though.
Hello, Owl. Today is my birthday, you know. And for my birthday, I thought that I would like to go on a treasure hunt.
A treasure hunt! Oh, marvelous idea. And I know just the thing you need. A treasure map.
A treasure map? Oh, yes. I don't suppose you might know where I could find one?
Of course I do, dear boy. Let's see. Yes. I distinctly remember seeing such a map hidden in some shrubs.
Oh, and by the way, something's worth noting for, I want to show you guys of what really happens if you don't have enough honey parts, and because of that, we need to get some more honey parts.
Oh, I don't don't seem to have enough honey pots. Perhaps I'd better find a few more.
And that's all what Pooh has to say. So because of that, unlike in Piglet's big game though, that basically if you don't have enough cookies, then Piglet just go ahead and say, or just sigh, whenever he doesn't have enough cookies, able to spend on this little brave face factory. So yeah, not much else to say. So, and I think we've actually got enough. So, but even then though, problem solved, and it doesn't take that long to able to get this problem solved. So, that should be all pretty swell.
Oh,
So from here, we're able to get ourselves... I'm not exactly sure what this thing is though, but even then though, because again, it's been about quite a few hours ago since I actually have last played this, so... Because usually, relatively speaking though, is that I'm still busy playing through Super Mario RPG on the Switch after all, and maybe potentially I can able to actually go back onto The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom at some form or another to able to do some side quests and stuff like that, which there's a lot of them, so... And I just realized is that we somehow managed able to use all of our honey pots. So yeah, we definitely need to able to grind more of them until the final segment of this entire Pooh's birthday stage. So yeah, this might take a bit while to able to actually get through some points or another. So hopefully though, it won't be giving me that much trouble when it comes to able to finding those specific honey pots. And also I've spotted this little glowing rock, which as a result, that could be where the music note was. So, well, assuming of course I need to grab that honey pot there first, and well, we somehow accomplished that. So either way, I don't think there's anything else we can go to, aside from the fact that there are still some more areas we can able to actually explore into. So, but even then though, actually gonna think about it, I was gonna able to actually double check on that particular snowy environment place. I think the last time we actually experienced this particular environment was back in, I would say in Tigger's birthday, basically, because, well, relatively speaking, it was about the fact that I'm pretty sure in Eeyore's birthday is that I don't think we did somehow manage able to explore the snowy environment in Journey Forms of an Eeyore's birthday. So, technically speaking, that Tigger's birthday is the last time we've actually able to experience, or should I say, that was the time when we first able to actually explore the snowy mountain location. So, but either way, let's go ahead and grab some more honey pots while I'm at it. So, likely also just trying to able to kick or shove not only the snowy tree, but also a snowman too. So even then though, let's just go ahead and cross through here. And believe it or not, there's some more honey pots just in here. So come on, thank you. So now we've got 25 so far. I'm pretty sure that Pooh's birthday has the lot, or has the most, honey pots. So, likely also for 135. So I can see why about for the fact that eventually at some point, that we do need to able to collect a lot. I mean, a lot of honey pots this time around. Because, well, like I said before, much like the cookie system in Piglet's big game, well, you do need to acquire a lot of it in order able to progress for the majority of the forms of certain stages. So, anyways though, so let's just go ahead and continue things on here, so we can pretty much guarantee we can able to do the ridiculous amount of backtracking around here.
Oh, yes, yes. The path near Kanga's shed leads straight to some shrubs.
Okay, I was just checking, just in case for the fact that sometimes I will admit though right away that Pooh's birthday stage is gonna be without doubt the trickiest level in the game, just because you could never figure out how you're supposed to go to. But I will try my best if I was gonna able to be as quickly as I possibly could when it comes to able to actually completing certain stuff and what have you. So, but again, like I said before, it's been like a few hours ago since I actually have last played this, so, because, you know, been busy playing some more of my Nintendo Switch, of course, and eventually at some point that I'm also able to actually guaranteed able to set up my brand new laptop, just to able to realize about for the fact that, despite the fact that, unfortunately though, my new laptop has a lag of the forms of the disk tray, that, you know, every time whenever you press the eject button or open and close button on certain laptops in the past, that basically though, I have to specifically try to utilize the USB disk drive. So as a result, yeah, it does take me quite a while to get used to with it, but I'm sure enough though, I will able to actually install Rockstar Game Capture HD Pro again, so, but this time on a much more better hardware, so, and thankfully though, the clamshell is definitely a lot more better than the forms of how it does it on this outdated Acer laptop that I have since 2013, so, yeah, that's what I can really say about that, I guess. So, but even then though, yeah, I've checked every single places around here, but straight to the point, that it feels like about the fact that we basically done playing as not only Tigger, at least for now, but also with EO as well. But there's one particular character we've only got left, which I think that could be related to Piglet or something like that. So as a result, we can pretty much guarantee we can able to meet up with Piglet again. And relatively speaking though, that will be the true final time. Or, exponentially speaking though, not exactly, just because of the junior mode as I mentioned earlier. So hopefully I'll try to show off a brief moment on junior mode on the extra video. So, anyways though, oh geez, talk of the devil, we actually come across into more enemies. So hopefully we'll try to get that another balloon over there, so. Oh boy, this gets a little bit tricky around here. Although as long as you weren't able to strategize yourself, then you should be okay, so. And there we go. Oh, nicely done here. So I think what we're supposed to do is that, I don't think it's possible. Oh. Oh, I see. Okay. I keep thinking about the key item for some reason, but then again though, I didn't pay attention to the forms of those darker imagery right there, so I do apologize for this point, folks. But anywho, so now we can able to explore the next area, so we can pretty much guarantee we can able to, well, find some more honey pots just in case we're able to get enough for able to actually just get into the final portion of this entire stage and the entire game. So yeah, anyway, so let's just go ahead and keep on collecting some more honey pots there, and well, there's some sparkle effects around here, so I'll investigate those for later. So again, not much else to talk about, so, but even then though, I was originally trying to able to attempt to say is that, well, I was expecting for the fact that we could probably able to actually classify for saying this, is that, I was expecting to try to able to do Tigger's Honey Hunt for the N64 or PlayStation 1, but unfortunately though, that particular playthrough is going to be cancelled, or Let's Play of the game is potentially officially cancelled because I've never played it before, or potentially speaking though, because I didn't get enough room for my shelves for my PlayStation 1 stuff, so.
Oh, bother. The passage in these shrubs is a bit too small for a rather stout bear to get through.
Maybe I can make it wider for you, Pooh.
Oh, that would be very helpful indeed, Piglet.
Well, Piglet, it looks like we've met again. So, in some cases though, this is technically the third time we're going to be playing as Piglet. So, and relatively speaking, it was about the fact that this will be the final time we're going to be able to be scaring off not only certain Heffalumps, but also for certain Wurzels as well. So, hopefully we're able to get a chance that we can able to actually deal with these particular certain Heffalumps and Wurzels a bit easier. So we can pretty much guarantee we can able to do, let me guess, we're going to have to deal with 5 button combinations, and in addition to the forms of those 2 analog stick inputs. So, although you can still utilize the D-pad as well, just like the forms of how it does it on Piglet's big game, so at least that's a huge plus. Assuming, of course, if your control stick feels a bit too sensitive, or the analog stick if you ever played the PlayStation 2 version. So, anyways though, so let's go ahead and deal with this mirror Wurzel right here, ever since in Eeyore's birthday. So, and also I just realized is that we will come across into that familiar Wurzel. So as a result, we're about to be dealing with the sporty Wurzel right here. So yeah, because technically we've already come across into him ever since in Tigger's Dream in Piglet's big game. So yeah, I don't think it's possible we're able to bump into hide-and-seek Woolsall, and especially noticeable with any other, like, enemy encounters, like, well, I don't know, Jackpot Heffalumps, because, thank goodness, the Jackpot Heffalumps is, without a doubt, is my least favorite enemy encounters to deal with in Piglet's Big Game. So, I'm very glad that Jackpot Heffalumps is not going to make it his appearance in this game this time around, so...
I did it, Pooh Bear!
Thank you very much, Piglet. Now I can get through easily.
Oh, I'm glad I could help.
Well, for the most part, I think we are basically done playing as every single characters in Journey forms of Pooh's birthday, and also that could be applied for the sake of the forms of the majority of the adventure mode, so, but even then, that's saying something, so... Anyways though, what I was going to be saying for this point is that, well, let me know in the comments down below for the question of the day. What was the other events are you excited for the sake of the forms of 2024? I know for certain there's actually going to be one of those events coming up, which appears to be yet another Summer Olympics, but this time it's going to take place in Paris in France. So as a result, because last time we actually had the Summer Olympics was back in 2021, just because of, you know, pandemic is gonna take over, Journey falls within 2020 year, which you probably already know what I'm talking about. So, but even then though, and yeah, because thank goodness, like I said before, is that Jackpot Heffalumps is my least favorite enemies to encounter in Piglet's Big Game. So imagine if the actual Jackpot Heffalump were able to make its appearance in this game. My god, it'll make the game a little bit more difficult able to come across. So, but that does not seem the case at all. So, but even then, let's go ahead and obtain some more music notes, specifically one of them, and we can able to grab this particular shuffle, so we can able to dig up the X. So that could be something related to likely a treasure map is going to be hidden inside. So we'll just go and use the shuffle anyway, so we can able to dig up some stuff.
The treasure map. No, but I'm afraid I can't read it. Perhaps Owl could help.
So now we need to go back into Owl's house, and exponentially, he'll pretty much know exactly the specific details. So, yeah, we're almost there, folks. So it's just about the fact, no matter what, though, we still need able to collect some more honey pots, just in case we're able to get enough for able to actually finish the game completely. So, but even then, though, yeah, not much else to say. So, but even then, though, that, I think there's going to be a lot of times that we might able to actually bump into some more Heffalumps and Woolsalls along the way, especially because thanks to that particular Tommy has been rumbling this whole entire few moments notice. So, yeah, we got to do this a lot, so either way, but then again though, this is what the game starts to get a little bit more difficult, so especially concerning for the fact that you need to be super fast at this though, so even then though, that's all I can really say about that. So anyways, let's pop this little balloon right here, and that will scare them off until we're able to continue our progressioning. I'm not exactly sure of what really happens if you manage able to ignore the balloon and go straight onwards to the next segment, which, if I recall correctly, is that if you don't pop the balloon, I believe the actual, the entrance to the next area is going to be blocked off, at least if I'm assuming so anyway. Mind you, I haven't really tested this out for myself, you see, so because of that though, because I just want to get the actual thing moving along, so yeah, there's going to be some more enemies around here that, my god, there's going to be a loads. But hopefully we're able to just get away in time, so anyway, let's pop this another balloon, and we can able to continue. I'm pretty sure in the next area we're about to be hit off to, I'm pretty sure we're being chased again, so again, I apologize for my commentary, because it's a little bit slippy at points, but that's just because for the fact, oh, okay, there aren't any Heffalumps and Woolsalls around here, so that's a good thing, I suppose. Maybe they'll able to actually have more of them on Owl's house or something. I have no idea, because I've never actually experienced this part of the game before, so okay, there aren't any enemies in here, so that's all good.
Oh, you found the treasure map. Ah, well done.
But I can't read it. Do you think you could, Owl? Read it, that is?
Oh, certainly. Let's see. Oh, yes. The treasure is in a cave on the Snow Mountain.
Oh, thank you, Owl.
Wait a moment, Pooh. You should take this candle with you. It might be rather useful.
Okay, so as it turns out, we somehow managed to able to obtain the final inventory item that we can use for the majority of the final segment in the entire game, but it's also with the entire stage as well. So, but even then, but before we get onto that though, is that we need to head back onto the forms of the snowy environment area. So as a result, we can now able to actually go ahead and dealing with, without a doubt, is the hardest section in the entire stage, which is obviously going to be filled to the brim with not only one, but 3 pink woozles in order able to continue our progressioning. So here's our another balloon to pop. But of course, if you get scared, then checkpoints is not going to help you this time around. So, but then again, that's what this stage is actually going to get pretty difficult. So either way, jeez, I somehow got blocked by this gosh darn invisible wall. So, because then again, the camera perspective feels a bit kind of weird at times, which you could really tell of how the fact of what your movement is going to be like. So, that's the only tricky part about the forms of certain segments like this, you know, so. But then again though, we've almost there, folks. We're just literally almost there. So because of this though, yeah, I felt a little bit more quite pleased about this, even for the sake of the forms of how the fact that despite we did somehow got scared quite a few times, what I will say is about the fact that this game is pretty easy to able to mess up at one point quite a few times, because I must say is that Piglet's Big Game is pretty easy to me, so. Oh wow, we did somehow burn off this little spider web. So this pretty much leads us to, potentially speaking, is the final section in this entire stage and the entire game. So because of that, we ended up in this icicle cavern, which is obviously going to bring us into specifically the final set of Heffalumps. So as a result, and this is potentially the final time we're about to get chased by the forms of either Heffalumps and Woozles, but also it's about the fact that this will be the final time we're able to pop that particular blue balloon. So, and once we're done with that, then we can pretty much guaranteed able to get into the final puzzle segment, which, for those of you probably wondering, ever since in Journey forms within Piglet's Big Game, not only for the sake of the forms of Owl's Dream, but also with Eel's Dream and Tigger's Dream, is that, well, we have to lit up every single candles. But before we do that, let me go ahead and grab the last batch of those honey pots, and that will potentially be about it. Even though, despite the fact that I, sort of missing something for the sake of the forms of where that particular music note was. But I'm sure enough, though, is about the fact that once we get to the final video for this entire Let's Play of this game, obviously I will able to actually try to find every single music notes. So, and I'm pretty sure it's about the fact that we actually missed quite a few, so hopefully we will able to guarantee able to find the last few music notes for the sake of time. So, anyways though, so let's go and use the candle to lit up those candles, and keep this in mind. Much like the forms of how it does it on Owl's Dream and Tigger's Dream, I think is what it says anyway. Actually, to be more specifically, it's Owl's Dream in Piglet's Big Game. That we have to be quick about this, because if the time runs out, well, you have to start all over again. So this is going to be quite a tricky puzzle, I'm not going to lie. Even though for what I've looked upon so many playthroughs of the game, that basically they did have a lot of struggles with this, so. But once you successfy this, well, the treasure chest has been appeared. But here's the catch: the bees are blocking it. So you know what that means? It's time to feed the bees for those honey pots for presumably for the final time. And I think you need to get about 60 of them, which is quite a lot. And that was it for Pooh's birthday.
Oh, look, I found the treasure, and it's honey. Oh, how very yummy. I shall share the honey with all of my very good friends at my birthday party.
And indeed, this birthday was Winnie the Pooh's most delicious birthday of all.
Hello, Pooh Bear. Now, how is that rumbly tumbly of yours?
Much better, thank you. You see, by remembering all the birthdays we celebrated, I forgot to be hungry.
Oh, that's too bad, for you see, I've bought you some honey.
Honey? Oh, well, now that you mention it, Christopher Robin, my tumbly is a bit rumbly again.
I thought that might be so. Well, why don't we have a party with all our friends so that everyone can enjoy our honey?
And so, in memory of their birthdays, and to enjoy Pooh's new honey, all the friends in the 100-acre wood had a picnic together.
Yes, and this picnic will give me one more memory to remember.
And that's the ending. So, pure and simple. Now, I found was very weird is that unlike in Piglet's Big Game, that there's no final boss, and what's even weirder is that when you beat the game, likely also for the sake of the forms of Winnie if you manage to complete Pooh's birthday, there's no credit sequence, so that's a bit weird. I suppose the only way you can able to see the staff credits of this game is by going in the options menu, so I guess that seems to be the case or something. But even then, we did somehow complete everything except for those music notes, which I'm about to do that at some point in Journey Forms of In tomorrow. So speaking of which, is that I'm pretty sure we got the ending stuff at this point right here. So join me tomorrow for more of Let's Play of Winnie the Pooh's Rumbly Tumbly Adventure for the Nintendo GameCube/PlayStation 2. Is that we're about able to find the last few music notes and also showing off the extras of how this game actually has to offer. So I'll see you guys until tomorrow. Later, fellas.